In this video, I drive something amazing. It's a Matra Murena. Hoo-hoo! So here we go. This is the remarkable Matra Murena, which belongs to my friend Colin. It's a 2.2, and because they couldn't get hold of a better engine, it's the engine out of such beauties as the Chrysler 180 and the Talbot Tagora. The rear lights, the actual main holder unit is Talbot Horizon, I think, because if you chop that off, it's a Horizon lamp, but we've got special lenses with extra curvy bits on. So there is the engine. This one's much tweaked. It's got a warmer Piper cam in it, and look at the size of those carburetors. I think this is going to be fun. But the major selling point of the Murena, he says, being locked out of it. Don't you love French cars? There we go. It's a three-seater. How marvellously French, eh? So you can take two friends with you in your sports car. Let's continue our tour of the outside, if I can remember how to open the bonnet. Or front engine cover, call it what you will. Is there a little catch up there? There we go. Some stuff you'll love under here. We've got pop-up headlamps, of course. I'll have to get some footage of those later on. There's the catch. So no engine here, of course, but look at the brake system. So the servo goes across the car with this fantastic linkage to operate it. You know, so the steering rack down there, and yeah, all good to go. Down with the bonnet, which is surprisingly heavy. Shut it closed. Yeah, I've got a glass window here to try and keep the noise down of the engine, but it's still fairly considerable. I think there might be a bit of luggage space there if you're lucky. Right, getting in. I can just about get my leg under there. Right, and yeah, so inside, lots of space, obviously, because there's 3 seats. So it's huge. We've got sunroof as well, so it's light and airy. Right, close the door. Look at that, nice little extending pockets. Nice little, there's your catch to get out. We've got very typical stalks out of a Talbot, I think, of some sort. And yeah. Right, I think it's time to deploy beard cam. Right, I'm not sure your view of the road will be as good as it was in a Toyota Starlet. Oh. Oh, maybe that's third. There we go. Of course, it's left-hand drive only. I don't think they ever officially sold them here, but if they did, they certainly didn't make the effort to sell them with right-hand drive. But visibility is excellent. You imagine trying to get out of this sharp junction in a Lamborghini or something. I'll be absolutely screwed. Yeah, I mean, the ride's firm, but it's not uncomfortable. The driving position is fantastic. Row of switches down here to play with if I feel the need. You're aware it's quite a wide car, and these are tiny English lanes. So we're still getting the engine up to temperature. I won't go too crazy just yet. Oh! Oh, she gets a shift on. Barely any wind noise at all, and it's one of the most slippery shapes of its generation. But even by today's standards, I think it's probably pretty good. If I find out the figure, I shall let you know. Brakes are reassuring despite the crazy linkage. Oh, this is lovely. I have driven one of these before, but it was a long time ago. Oh, that's third. That's still third. There we go. He did warn me about that, to be fair. Very tortuous gear linkage, and perhaps not the package that the engineers had in mind when they first came up with the concept of the Murena. What they actually wanted was the Peugeot Renault Volvo V6, the engine that went in the DeLorean. But sadly, Alpine had their hands on that engine, and they weren't going to let another French sports car manufacturer get their grubby mitts on it. So Matra were forced to go begging to Talbot. Or by then, I think that was actually Peugeot. This car was conceived in the late 70s, I think, and production began very early 80s, if I'm recalling that right. I can't say I've looked at any facts at all. Now stuck behind a bloody Ford C-Max. Steering is lovely. No assistance, of course, because it's not necessary. There's no weight up front. The engine really isn't that good as standard. They claimed 145 brake horsepower, I think, in the S model, but the reality is a fair bit less than that. This one is apparently 100 at the wheels. So a good 150 odd on the rolling road, but I think they've pegged it back to just below that to make sure there's still a good spread of torque. And it is a bit fussy. You put your foot down, there's that bog while you wait for it to pick up. Kind of have to be a bit gradual with your throttle inputs. It's a very analog car. Not that it really feels it when you're driving around gently like this, stuck behind a bloody Ford C-Max. Just my luck, eh? Oh, well, it is a 40 limit, so maybe one shouldn't be too upset. And the speedometer is still in kilometres, apparently, so that's something for me to bear in mind. I was surprised to learn, apparently they built over 10,000 of these. Ah, there we go, there's fifth. Which is remarkable, really, but I suppose back in their home market they were still seen as a done thing. I mean, the previous Bagheera, that only had a 1.5 Simca engine, but was still a very well regarded sports car. It's good where it matters in terms of handling. Engine particularly, but yeah, she does pull well. I would say the gear change isn't as bad as I was have a go at 0 to 60. I'm not sure how well we'll do. Manufacturer, they lasted a remarkable long time. But Matra specialised in making fantastic little sports cars like this. Google right now Matra M530. I think you'll like it. And a Ford V4 engine, remarkably pretty little car. Very unusual at the same time. Its money making the Espace for Renault, the people carrier. Plastic body on a steel chassis. It's what Matra knew well. But Renault decided to make the Espace all steel in the early 2000s. And they said to Matra, oh yes, you can build the Avantime, that remarkable MPV that built like a sports car. Two-door body, and they did, and it was a complete disaster. Not helped by the fact that Renault built the Velsatis, so Renault had two executive cars at the time. I mean, absurd. And the Avantime was the end of Matra, and that is very, very sad. They deserved better. Conversation whilst driving this car this quickly, having this much fun. Not particularly easy, to be honest, but I'm having a good time. Woo! Ways to spend your day, that's for sure. It feels very safe, very planted, very predictable. I've not managed to die yet. I'm taking that as a good sign. Wedged between the second and third seats. Are you enjoying the view? I'm not quite sure who they were expecting you to take with you. Wife and mistress? I mean, that'd be quite French, wouldn't it? I've lost it. There we go. It could actually be a bit quieter than this. There is an engine cover that goes over the engine, but the owner likes to be able to keep an eye on the engine, and I can see it in the rear view mirror. Going for fifth there, but actually third feels like a much better idea. was brilliant. I've had a fantastic time driving this car. I've left the oh yes, there we go. Let's go and let's see what she looks like with lamps up. Oh. Sports cars do take a bit of getting out of. Classic yellow fog lights. Well, I'd say, but that has been a lovely day. So I'll say thank you to Colin for letting me drive this fantastic Matra Murena. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe before you go, and I shall see you again in a future video. Who knows what I'll be driving? Farewell.